Hi there, and welcome to another episode of Picture This. Sorry, this is an emergency episode because presently there's a protest right here in Nigeria, and I felt there are a lot of photographers that could benefit from this coverage. So I decided to title this A Photographer's Guide to Covering a Protest. Okay, I might not flow just like previous episode, but just bear with me. Sorry if I'm not wearing any perfume or makeup, but I just had to do this before the second day of the protest. So follow along. If you don't get it the first time, you can always pause, rewind, and jot down the. So the first tip I have for anyone considering covering a protest, and you, oh, sorry, I'm not okay. Covering a protest, it could be here in Nigeria or whichever country that you are based in, is this. First of all, be very sure that you have the guts. If you are scared of taking pictures at a protest or you are afraid that your camera might get damaged, please don't just bother going out there. A protest need people, both not just the protesters, but photographers and crewmen that are bold enough to get out there. Okay, if you feel you have the guts, the next thing I feel you should do is to pray. Yes, pray to wherever supreme being that you believe in, whatever God that you feel will protect you. For me, I prayed to my Jesus before I left the house, and I also feel it's important to inform your family members. You see, I met a lot of people that they were like, I didn't talk to my wife, I didn't tell her I was coming for this, or I didn't pick up my parents' call because I knew they would be against it. Just let them know anyways, because you just never can tell. Okay, another thing that you should do is make adequate preparations for your family, especially if you are married. Okay, one of the preparations I've made, I did some time back, especially when I started this photography, was with regard to my wife and the account that I had. I made her a co-signatory to my account so that should, in case I happen not to be around for whatever reason, of course we all say God forbid and all, but for whatever reason I'm not around, she can always pick up the checkbook and get money out of the account. Okay, so make adequate preparations and let your family know. Okay, after you've done all that, I feel it's important to, if you can, get to the venue at least a day or two before the protest is supposed to start. It helps you to look around the different places that you might want to consider standing so that you get better viewpoint. If you can't get to the venue a day before, you could at least get there at least 1 hour before and have a look around where you could stand to get some cool vantage points. Another thing you should consider is to go with at least one assistant. It will really help to ease the burden from you. Okay, for me, for the particular for the first day that we did, the first day of the protest, I had about 5 assistants. Was it 5? No, it was 4. There are 4 assistants because if you are in Nigeria and you know where Ojota is quite a large place, and I couldn't be running up and down, so we were all stationed in different places, and we pretty much had a good coverage. Okay, so have at least one assistant with you. It will really help the burden on you. Another thing you should consider doing is also wear comfortable shoes. You'll be doing a lot of walking. Okay, so you better be sure that your shoes are comfortable. In fact, the shoes that I wore for the first day of the protest, I don't feel they were really comfortable because it got to a time after about 2 hours of walking, my knees were aching me. For you, it could be your ankles. This is a protest is not something you'll be dressing, wearing a suit for. Wear shoes that are really comfortable. Okay, you should also wear trousers or pants that are either khakis or jeans. Can't afford to wear materials that are light like this because there are some places you might want to jump on, quickly run that, if you are wearing a light material like this, they could tear and expose whatever you are hiding, so make sure you're wearing jeans, comfortable jeans and comfortable shoes. Okay, when you've done all that, I think it's important to have at least cameras, at least 2 cameras. If you don't have 2 cameras, I think the important thing is to have 2 different types of lenses. One, a telephoto lens that can get things from afar, and another lens, a wide angle lens that could help you take pictures of nearby things. For me, for the particular coverage for the first day, I used Olympus camera, and we went with my 50 to 200 lens. And for most of the pictures we took on Monday, we actually used this lens. we use this lens. And on the second camera is also an Olympus. Okay, make sure it's also cameras that you are really familiar with. I don't suggest you buy a camera, on Monday and on Tuesday you are going out to protest. You really need to, know how to change all the settings at a very fast rate. So wide angle lens on the first camera, telephoto lens on the other camera. They just help you to get the job, easy. Okay, so that's that. If you have those cameras ready, I think it's important to have enough extra batteries that will last you for 24 hours. Okay, for me, for the two cameras, I went with about 8 to 10 of these batteries. Each of these batteries usually lasts me about 3 hours, so I was pretty much covered. Not as if the whole protest will last for 24 hours, but you just never can tell. Okay, you never can tell whether it will be your 20th hour that great picture that could be considered the picture of the century or of the year would showcase. So have enough batteries, have enough memory cards. Okay, what I did was to get the large size memory cards for this coverage. For the first camera, I used a 16 gigabyte compact flash card, and on my second camera, I used an 8 gigabyte compact flash card. And a coverage like a protest, you don't need to set the quality of the pictures you are taking to the highest quality, because in most cases it's not as if you are going to be printing a super large size anyway. In most cases you probably won't even end up printing the pictures, because in this day and age most of the pictures will be showcased on the internet or in soft form anyway. So just a standard maybe quality will be okay. And this is a scenario where I don't feel you need to take pictures in the raw format. If you are a strong believer of raw, no matter what, you could go ahead. It's your call, as long as you have the space to store the over 2,000 pictures that you will be taking. Okay, the other mode that I feel you should set your camera in is the burst mode. The burst mode will help your camera to take pictures in as many pictures per second as the camera can. Okay, this is where if you have a camera that can take like 7 frames per second, this is where you really enjoy the camera. For the Olympus that I was using, could only take pictures in about 4 frames per second, so I was just firing away. I was taking as many pictures. Yes, for each picture that you probably saw on the website was actually one of maybe the 20 pictures that I took for each of the pictures. So the ones on the site is just about less than 5% of the whole coverage. Okay, so set your settings to the burst mode. Okay, one other thing, I think I mentioned that wear comfortable shoes. Yes, I've mentioned that. Okay, it's important you also realize that I think you should also take a camcorder, a small camcorder, because there are some moments that just taking the pictures might actually not really record it. So it helps if you can go with a camcorder. It could even be your camera phone. I went with the camcorder that I'm using, to record this session now. So that will really help, in the long haul. It helps also if you can speak the language of the protesters, because there are some situations you just really need to communicate with them. For me in particular, it got to an extent that these particular people I was taking their pictures, they were area boys and they were smoking marijuana. They were getting high and I was almost getting high, and in order to really flow with them, I had to be like, alaye baba jomo kove ya picture any sha agba mi laye, and I was speaking Yoruba and English and a language that they understand, and to an extent they thought I was probably part of them, and they were even angry that I was not taking enough of their pictures. Okay, so it helps if you can speak their language. That will go a long way. Another thing, hope I've not skipped anything. Yes, one more thing. There's a good chance you are going to be meeting your friends or your colleagues. For me, for example, I met some of my church members, some of my old colleagues. In fact, for some people, it was a form of reunion ground. Okay, it's important that you don't spend too much time gisting. Your sole purpose is the coverage, the photography coverage of this protest, and you are likely not going to get moments that will repeat themselves. So you can't afford to be spending time greeting someone like, how is your dad, how is your mom, what about your uncle, it's been 2 years I saw her, it's been 2 years I saw. You can't be gisting and spending all the time doing that. Okay, just say hi, move on, be on the lookout for where the next action is taking place. Apologize to them later if you have to, but they better understand that you are doing your job. Okay, I've mentioned the equipment to use, extra batteries, everything should also be on you. Everything should be on you. The 2 cameras that I mentioned, they are usually on me. The extra batteries in my pockets. Also make sure you go with your own snack, your own food. I made sure I bought like 6, sausage rolls that were stashed in my pocket. The common sausage roll in Nigeria, Gala, because you never know how long this will take, and there's no guarantee that they're going to be selling food there anyway, depending on the type of protest. So it could be a snack bar for you, it could be a chocolate bar, Twix, Snickers, Mars. I didn't go with all that because presently the prices of Snickers and Twix have gone up, and thank God the price of Gala, the sausage roll I bought, didn't go up. So I bought about 6 of that. If you can get a bottle of water too, you need that because you are going to be, in most cases, under the sun. Okay, so get something to eat, but make sure everything is on you. You don't need a camera bag. Try to make sure you are going, because there are times that you need to run and you don't need something weighing on your back, on your shoulder. Make sure everything is on you and you are ready to run as fast as you can at any point in time. Remember, your goal is also to get back home safe and sound, so you need to be very agile and ready to move. Okay, what else have I not mentioned? Wear comfortable shoes, have snacks on you, wear khaki pants and jeans. I think I've mentioned you don't need anyone's permission to upload the pictures on the net. Okay, unlike a standard portrait session or a wedding in which you discuss with the client and the client pays you an amount, in most cases, especially here in Nigeria, you actually need to ask for their permission before you put the pictures on the internet, because there are a lot of clients, especially for me, the high profile clients I've had the opportunity to work with, they don't trust the internet at all. Okay, but a coverage of a protest is nothing like that. As long as it's a public protest, you don't need anybody's permission that you took that day before you can upload the pictures. That is my own opinion anyways. I don't need somebody to sign a model release before I can upload maybe their picture if I saw them in that particular protest. Okay, so that is that. Carry a small camcorder, that small and snappy. It helps if you can speak the protesters' language. Get to the venue a day before it's supposed to start, or at least an hour. You might as well silence your phone too. It's important that you keep yourself from any distractions that will help you or impede you from getting great shots. Remember, most of the pictures that you get are moments that usually will never ever be repeated. At least not exactly the same way. Imagine if there was a man burning, for example, or a man set on fire, and you missed that moment for about 2 minutes. You can't just get there and be like, could you please burn that man again because I missed the moment. The moment is gone forever. So you need to silence your phone or any form of distraction that will prevent you. Remember, we've already talked about you not gisting with your friends. Any form of distraction that will prevent you from capturing all these moments. Okay, put your phone on silence. The only reason maybe you shouldn't put your phone on silent should be maybe if your wife is about to be delivering your first child. Maybe if you are someone like Jay-Z, okay, and you're a photographer and your wife Beyonce is about to give birth, yes, you better put your phone on, so that because the call can come in any moment in time. Honey, the water just broke, the baby is coming. At which case, if you can't drop all, you can go meet your wife. But apart from that, make sure your phone is on silence. Okay, so get to the venue before, silence your phone. And the last thing that I feel should be of help too is important to just right before you upload the pictures to the net, especially if you are doing this just for your company or on your own, you're not working for BBC or any organization. try to make sure the name of your company or logo is somewhere on the picture. You never can tell where you could get your next job. Okay, that's why if you check all the pictures we've uploaded so far, especially with regards to this protest, you see somewhere at the lower right corner, Elo Photos. Our company name is there because, yes, although it's a protest, pictures of protest, I could still get a call from someone that viewed the picture and be like, wow, this guy did a wonderful coverage. He can cover my wedding. I can get a call from someone like that, and nowadays, you need all the jobs that you can get. Okay, so make sure your name is there, and if at all an organization wants to use your picture, you could perhaps even either make some extra income licensing the pictures to them, or just strike up a deal, but let your name be there. Your name shouldn't be on the whole picture in such a way that will make the picture invalid or reduce the beauty of the picture, but just let it be visible. Okay, so just let it be visible, let it be there. Okay, and I think that is it for today's crash course on a photographer's guide to covering a protest. If you have any questions whatsoever, any questions at all with regards to photography, that is, okay, just send an email to picturethis@elophotos.com. picturethis@elophotos.com. You could subscribe also to this channel so that you'll be one of the first few that get an update each time we upload a video. You could also like this video if you really like it, or share it with your friends that are photographers and maybe need some tips, because this is something that we definitely were not taught in school. I learned this on the job myself. It could also reduce your chances of failure if you want to cover a protest. Okay, so let me know what you think. Send me a note, send me an email, shout out to me. Till we meet again, same channel, same time on Friday. Keep taking those pictures, and see you at tomorrow's protest. That is, if you are based in Nigeria, that is Tuesday, tomorrow. Take care. See ya. Bye. See ya.